And we're live. There we go. And audio's working. I got to work on all the details on this.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. It's not starting out great. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating, man. I did a test of all this stuff an hour before you came over.
Yeah.
How did you? Okay, cool. Just hit the button. Stream Deck. It all plays.
And then
Fine.
it just didn't work.
And then
time.
I loaded the scene and it was like Stream Deck was like, yeah, not today.
Yeah.
Don't feel it.
Yeah.
Which I totally get because I've been that way at work.
Yeah.
Ever since my birthday.
Yeah.
Like there's just been something about this spring, man. There's something about this spring where I'm just like, I just want to be outside. I don't want to be bothered by any of this garbage.
Yeah.
I just want to relax, and enjoy the sun, exercise, and eat healthy. And
eat healthy, really?
Yeah, like I've been really enjoying eating healthy, although I haven't been doing a lot of it.
So this is more of an aspirational thing. Not really. You're not really wanting to eat healthy. It's just more of like you'd like to eat healthy.
No, I enjoy it when I do it. Like when I'm eating junk food, I'm like, I don't really enjoy this. I'd rather have something, like something.
Then why don't you get something healthier?
A lot of it has to do with like opportunity.
Okay.
I've been working a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's been like emergency kind of work where I'm out of the house and I don't have the time to like pack a salad.
That's true. Okay.
To go get something. And or my boss is like, hey, let's go to Chipotle.
Yeah.
You know,
you can order a salad at Chipotle.
Yes, but who does? What kind of monster are you?
But you just said you lacked opportunity, sir.
All right. Well, in that case, it wasn't opportunity. It was just I didn't want a salad that day. I'd eaten a couple salads. So it's just like little things like that. It's been up and down. It hasn't been every day. I've just been eating junk.
That's fair. That's
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure you've had a lot of wins in that time. It's one of those where like, you have like a series of wins, but like there's like it's like 2 for 1, like 2 losses for every 1 win.
Well, what ends up happening to me is fuck it Friday turns into screw it Saturday.
Right.
So what Sunday?
Yeah.
I guess I'll start over on Monday.
Yeah.
Is what ends up happening. It's usually where I fall apart. Like I'll do really good like usually during the week, and then like I'll do like a lot of stress eating on weekends. Like, because I've been working a lot on weekends lately.
Yeah, you have been.
So I've just been doing a lot of stress eating, so that hasn't helped.
Yeah.
So there's that.
But
other than that, it's going pretty well. Like I bought and downloaded a new weight loss program that kept popping up on my Facebook feed and Instagram feed and stuff. And I finally clicked it, and I looked at it, and I was like, yeah, this looks pretty good. Like, it comes with, like,
recipes, and
workouts, a log for calorie counting and all this stuff, and I was like, all right, cool, like let me give it a try and just see what it's. And it's been going pretty well. I've been having a really hard time doing the workouts.
Yeah,
like a really hard time doing the workouts, and then I'm on like the bitch workouts, like the girl workouts.
That's usually my challenge with a lot of those programs. Is even the beginner workouts are super rough for me. I started a set of yoga workouts today, and that was a lot easier for me to handle. Like, it was specifically like when I signed up for the program, like when they were customizing the plan and everything. I was like, look, these like I legit have like the weight issues. Yeah, the weight makes it really tough to get any progress on these. So like this is the first time I felt like
downward dog, more like downward seal.
more like downward blob.
I want to go to yoga with you now.
Oh, no, you do not.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, like I can't wrap my hands around my knees.
No, yeah, I get that.
I
get that.
Those kind of moments. So, but it seems like it definitely feels like the best start that I've had in a long time.
Good.
So.
You said you started it today?
Yeah.
One day, this is going great.
Well, no, like there's some starts that you feel like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to continue.
I'm not going to do a day 2 of this.
Yeah, exactly. Like I get to a day 2, but like I don't see this as sustainable from the beginning. You know.
That's good. Which program are you using?
It's I don't even know the name.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I just canceled my Downward Dog subscription.
Yeah.
I had gotten it during COVID.
Yeah.
And I was doing it a lot during COVID because I couldn't go to the gym because the gyms were closed here.
Right.
And so I was doing it that way, and then I kind of stopped, and then I was like, why am I still paying for this stupid app? Like, it was free during COVID.
Yeah.
And then, like, afterwards, even then, it was, you know, they were like, hey, COVID's over. We got to start paying. You got to start paying. I was like, all right, cool. I still use it every once in a while. And then I don't use it at all.
Yeah.
But these workouts on this one, man, they had me doing this thing where I was like, okay, like I'm doing at home workouts. So I don't have gym equipment.
Yeah.
So I have to like that little stool over there. Like you put your arms behind you and you press down, and then you have to press yourself back up.
Yeah.
For like your shoulders and back and stuff. And I have notoriously weak shoulders. Like my shoulders have always just been the most weakest part of my body. It's shameful.
Like weaker than your back?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, my shoulders are not strong at all.
Because baby don't got back over here.
Baby's back is strong, but baby's back will hurt in a hot second. Baby's back will fall apart in a hot second if you look at it the wrong way. She's a very moody back.
Yeah.
Very moody. But the shoulders are just straight up bitches.
Yeah.
Like they don't do anything.
Yeah.
And so that has just been so rough on me. Like this today, I have a TENS unit. I had like the TENS unit on my shoulders and neck, like trying to loosen up the muscles. I'm like, oh my God, this hurts so bad. This isn't worth it. I don't want to be strong.
Right. Just transfer my consciousness into a new body now.
I'm like, why isn't AI here? Where's Neuralink? I want it now.
Yeah.
I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
This isn't worth it.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
So that's been tough. So I've been trying to do that, but I've been doing the workouts, which is good. And then like they also have like a 7,000 step requirement, which is like 3 miles.
Right.
I don't walk 3 miles. I walk up and down the stairs.
Right.
4 or 5 times a day to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. That's about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that's one of those things. Getting steps is a nightmare for me. I'm trying to get better there, but
I started taking walks.
Yeah.
My boss called me the other day.
Yeah.
And we're having like this deep in-depth conversation about tech stuff.
Sure.
And he has like, and I'm walking, and he's like, why are you breathing so hard? And why do I hear birds? Like, oh, sorry, Tom, I want to walk. Gotta keep going. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
Great. So, yeah, either that or but I've been on a lot of transmitter sites too, which has been, so like, you know, when you're working like that, you can't, like, I'm just there waiting for somebody to come and fix
there's
stuff.
not a lot you can do there.
I'm not doing steps there. I'm just sitting waiting, you know.
Yeah.
So that's kind of sucked. So it's been weird. Like I did like the measurements.
I'm just imagining you, like, if you took your Switch with you and like took a workout game with you.
Won't happen, and here's why.
Yeah.
Aiden takes the Switch every day.
Oh, does he? Oh, okay.
Takes it on the bus with him every day. Kid's got a 5-minute bus ride. It takes him longer to get his Switch out of his bag than he can actually play with it. It's crazy.
It's pointless, but whatever. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't using it. I was like,
yeah,
gotta take the Switch. That's
right.
fine. You know.
Right.
And he looks cool in front of his friends.
Of course. Yeah, that's what it's
that's
more for
really all that matters. Because there's a girl on his bus that he's kind of into.
Yeah. Oh, all right. There you go. All right.
Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it. I'm like, yeah, you take that Switch. You let her know what's up.
He's got to show those Super Smash Bros. Skills before he gets a Smash.
He is, and he is. He practices every day before he gets on the bus.
Yeah.
He's just like, all I hear is him like clicking the buttons, and then and the thing just vibrating. And I'm like, what the hell? Jenny this morning asked, she's like, what the hell is that noise? I'm like, well, you know what? No, I'm not gonna say that.
He's getting ready for finger blasting.
You leave the '80s kids alone. Leave us 80 kids alone. Okay.
Hey, whatever, man. It's a skill.
It was a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah.
It was a thing kids did in the '80s. We got good at it.
Yeah.
We got really good at it. I mean, they made commercials about it.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't a commercial.
I'm pretty sure it should have been. Definitely could have been. Definitely could have been.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, so that's what's been going on.
Yeah.
That's been going on. You had a headache last week.
Yeah.
You feeling better?
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better now.
That's good. I'm glad.
Yeah. So, We had a lot of movie news, though. We had Star Wars Celebration. We had a bunch of trailers come out.
Did you watch any of Celebration this year?
I watched almost all of Celebration.
Did you
I had it on in the background while I was working on stuff.
Nerd.
Hell yeah.
I love that about you. I didn't feel like watching it this year.
Oh, yeah. No, I kept it on all the way through.
Was it worth watching this year?
I mean, I enjoy all that shit, though. So, but yeah, I enjoyed it. Like, I enjoyed a lot of the panels. There were only a few that I skipped after a while. Like there was some of the parks stuff was the only stuff that I really skipped because I'm just like I'm not going to the parks anytime in the near future. I don't have the cash to do that.
Nobody does,
know, right?
Nobody does.
I just can't really So it was just like why even like dick tease, you know? At that point. So but other than that, like. I've been wanting to get into some of the High Republic books and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've listened to some of that stuff. I haven't read comics in a while, but I wouldn't mind like reactivating my Marvel Unlimited account, and
catching up on
some of those stuff. Now that it's been a good chunk of time,
Just something worth you could actually read.
Yeah,
a couple episodes before you have to catch up and then wait another 6 months to find out what happens. Yeah,
I mean, there's years and years of stuff because it's been a while since I've had.
I guess
it
has been.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like it, but it has been.
I mean, it's easily been 5+ years.
Yeah, way before COVID.
Because I canceled it a couple years before COVID. So
wow.
Yeah, so it's been a while. Yeah. So it's at least 6 years, maybe more. Yeah.
Wow.
So there's plenty of content.
You are so old.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, and then there was lots of stuff about the TV shows, and then the little bit of news we got about the movies too. So, which is pretty exciting.
What's your takeaway? What was your takeaway from everything?
I'm just excited for it all. Like, see what makes it through. Like, not everything is necessarily going to make it through. I'm wondering what, like, strategically what they've decided to announce and what they haven't. What's really interesting is there was an interview that I watched with Kathleen Kennedy that, like, all those, rumors of a Kevin Feige produced movie were never true. Like, those were just rumors. She said, like, that was just, that's just stuff.
Fanboy wishing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the Taika Waititi movie is a real one, and the Rian Johnson trilogy is a real one, but Ryan is busy with Knives Out, like 17 right now.
Is he making more of those?
He got a contract to make like 3 of them for Netflix.
He's made 2, so does that mean or
he
3
made one
more?
He made 1 out of those 3.
Who made the new one?
He made
Who made the first one?
The first one was him, but that was a theatrical release. Then Knives Out ordered 3. And Glass Onion was the first one of those 3.
After Knives Out, they wanted 3 past that.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then it's a long time, and he also did that Peacock series Poker Face.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got plenty. It's not like
he's not in a hurry to go do that.
Exactly. I'm sure plenty they want to wait plenty of time for people to like kind of calm down. We'll see how that goes.
Jedi, they still got to calm down after Last Jedi
because they still are on top of that shit. Like the
internet's so dumb.
I mean, you think about like how long they had to like in a sense, like if you think that was it 2005 to 2015 is the gap between the prequels and the sequels. Like do we got to wait 10 years? Do we got to wait till 2027 for Rian Johnson to start?
I mean, that's 5 years. Only 5 more years. He's halfway there.
Yeah, I mean, in 5 years he's probably going to be done with Knives Out. I would
hope so.
Yeah,
it's plenty of time.
Yeah,
it's really not that much time.
Yeah, so maybe That gives them time. That gives them time to do these next 3 that they've announced. The Taika Waititi movie is also like whenever Taika feels like getting around to it as well is sort of the deal. Because it's just like I like this a lot. I like this mentality a whole lot more rather than because I think that's the thing that fucked Solo over in a big way.
I think it fucked all 3 of them over was that we have these deadlines that we have to reach.
Yeah, every single one of
the first one maybe not.
Well, actually that one too because what's interesting is. That one they also rushed because originally they had oh my god, I can't believe I'm forgetting the name of the writer. Michael his last name starts with an A, but he's the guy who wrote Toy Story 3 and Little Miss Sunshine. And he was writing. He was originally writing Episode 7, and he dropped from the crew when they said they needed to rush the movie out, and that's when JJ came aboard because JJ Abrams turned down the movie at first, and then
gave him a bigger pile of cash.
Yeah, exactly.
He was like, all right,
he said he couldn't do May of 2015. They could do December of 2015. For whatever reason, Lucasfilm was obsessed with getting the May release date.
May the 4th. It's a perfect tie-in.
Right, and it was traditionally all the Star Wars movies released in May.
Yeah.
But December is a big release month too for these movies. Yeah, now it doesn't really matter.
They're all big release. But I understand like the synergy of wanting it in May.
Yeah, exactly.
I totally get that.
Yeah, but whatever.
But then start earlier.
Yeah, well, but then also like December, they have relatively less competition. You know, you don't have all the other summer blockbuster movies that are coming out.
Yeah, but you always have you always have a couple big blockbusters at Christmas. You always have like a Harry Potter movie, or there's always something.
But I think Star Wars was kind of claiming that spot now that like Lord of the Rings was done. Harry Potter was kind of done
for now. They're going to reboot that any minute.
Yeah, but I'm sure they'll fill in like in and around Star Wars rather than like necessarily going. I
don't think anybody's that afraid of Star Wars right now.
I don't know. Those Star Wars movies still did really well financially.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, it's not like they did poorly critically. There was a lot of mixed reviews for sure. Solo definitely underperformed, but Solo also had the change in director drama. Like there was nothing.
That was strictly release date.
Yeah,
you put that movie.
If they put that movie in December, they would have been fine, I think. Yeah. They would have had enough time to deal with a lot of the fallout.
Fix a lot of the problems, and you avoid Avengers.
Exactly. Yeah, because that was 2 weeks after Infinity War, and then 2 weeks before Deadpool 2. Like, and if you're telling me, like, are you going to see Solo, Infinity War, or Deadpool? Even as a hardcore Star Wars fan, I'm sorry, but Infinity War is the top of that list, and Deadpool 2 versus Solo, like, I don't know. Like, it's
a coin toss for a lot of people.
Exactly. Maybe Solo would be higher.
If you could even get them to pay for a second movie.
In the month of May. Yeah, exactly.
They're so expensive.
Yeah, because you're talking about families. If families are deciding, you know what, we're only doing one in May,
it's always in the budget.
It's going to be Infinity War at that point.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Like it's the one that has all the mo and all the excitement.
Right.
Like, why wouldn't? Yeah. That's the one I want to see. Like.
Yeah.
Because that's the culmination. That's the peak of the mountain.
The hype and everything going into it. Yeah.
There's no way you're gonna go see Solo.
Yeah.
Garbage movie, man.
There's a lot I like about it. Speaking of Solo, like that's another one where like there's supposed to be a Lando TV series, but it's kind of whenever Donald Glover feels like he wants to get around to it. And he had an interview recently where he said he's just waiting for a script that he really feels passionate about, not like. You know, he doesn't want to just
do it.
Yeah, exactly. Which I love that about him. Like
I appreciate that because there's too many people that would do that just because it says Star Wars on it.
Exactly. Yeah. Like he wants to, and it was interesting hearing him like in that interview because he was talking about like it was talking about like sort of all the different projects he's worked on, you know, in Community and Atlanta, and just like in like even the music video for This Is America, and just sort of like the thought process of what he wanted to do and what he wanted to say, and like he doesn't want to just make something and have it not say anything. So like it's
one of those artists.
Yeah, I think that's cool. You know, like I appreciate that. You know,
there's place for those people.
Yeah.
There's place for, and then there's also place for the people who act in Michael Bay movies too.
Right. Yeah.
They're just there for the paycheck.
It's fine, and like sometimes it's fun to just have dumb entertainment like that.
I know. Furious movies.
Yeah.
The dumbest.
It's not like we have high art planned for 420 Day.
Butt Boy.
Yeah.
Butt Boy is going to be a masterpiece. First of all, and if anybody says different, they're wrong.
Okay.
I have very high expectations for this film.
I'm sure very high.
Very high expectations. Extremely high. Are we going to watch it in the morning or the afternoon? What's the plan? Because Wendell's coming over in the afternoon. FYI.
Yeah. Does he want to watch it?
I don't know.
Maybe find out about that, because then we can adjust our plans accordingly.
Yeah. Here's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I want to go to a dispensary in the morning because all the sales and stuff.
Sure.
So whatever. And pick up some stuff because I'm almost out of everything.
Yeah.
Like I am on the last pile of weed that I have. So I want to go to the dispensary, stock up for the day, get some stuff, come back. I want to do Dom Perez tacos to eat.
All right. I'm always down.
I want to sit outside.
Yeah, Kong Dog over there, too.
You got what?
Kong Dog. Remember I talked about that with Brielle? That, the corn dog in place?
No, we're not doing that. Not doing that. I'm 49 years old. My insights can't take that. Okay.
Okay, that's fair.
We're not doing that.
I mean, Don Perez is kind of the better one anyway.
That's about
the birria
as far as I can
tacos
go.
are,
I've been craving those.
Yeah, trust me, I've been thinking about him a couple times just today.
Yeah, I almost went today.
Yeah.
I literally almost went today.
Yeah.
And you had texted me. It was like, hey, maybe we get together, and I'm looking forward to, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, I bet we're going to do that. I better not.
What's wrong with getting it again?
I'm trying to mix it up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep things
all right.
interesting and fun.
Variety's a spice of life. Okay, calm down.
I don't have a lot of time left, Addy.
Yeah.
I gotta make every day count.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was saying, so that's for lunch, and then watching the movie, and then that's kind of all I really wanted to do.
Yeah.
Except for hang out and
yeah,
chat
that's
maybe listen to music.
Yeah, that's basically what I was thinking. Just throw on some TV, throw on music and chat. So yeah, that's all I was hoping for.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, 420 is not really about activities so much as it's more about a vibe.
Right. Yeah, and Butt Boy is that vibe.
Yeah.
Butt Boy is that vibe. That's going to be a great movie.
Yeah.
I can't wait to come back next week and tell people how amazing Butt Boy was, because I've shared that trailer with several people, and they're like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Rick Robko being one of them. He gave me endless shit over this movie. It's hilarious. But I'm telling you, it's going to be a good movie. It's going to be surprisingly good.
Well, I feel Robka has some well, I don't know if I'd say high taste.
He's got very strong opinions.
Yes.
About things.
Yes. Yeah. And including movies and his taste in movies.
Oh yes.
And cinema for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, and I can respect the movies he
the movies he likes are amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's picking winners. Like, yeah. He's not picking dogs.
Yeah.
Like I respect it, but doesn't mean there's not room for Butt Boy in there.
I mean, you have room for Bubba Hotep in your heart, so like this is right up that alley. So
Bubba Hotep is one of the classic films of all time. It does not get enough respect.
Yeah.
It does not get enough respect. People talk about how great who's the actor? His name's escaping me.
Bruce Campbell?
Bruce Campbell's career is, and all the great movies that
but Bubba Hotep doesn't get a whole lot.
They never give him enough credit for Bubba Hotep.
Yeah, there's a lot of Evil Dead love, and that's about it. Yeah.
And that's, I don't even like Evil Dead that much.
I never got past the first one, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, I didn't get the appeal. I don't know if it's one of those where, like, it's like an Alien thing, like you got to get to 2 to really get interesting. Because, like, the first one's good, but, like...
Yeah, it wasn't.
It's kind of like Terminator 1, where it's just, like, it's good, but Terminator 2 is the real...
This one it really picks up. It was like Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'd still give OG Star Wars. I mean, the Death Star trench run alone. Yeah. Raiders of the Lost Ark is fucking amazing. Stop.
We've been watching the Indiana Jones movies.
Oh, yeah? How's that going? I've been wanting to kind of rewatch them now that the new one's coming. Yeah.
He's so confused because they're not chronologically in order.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's not...
That
doesn't help at all.
We watched The Last Crusade.
Last Crusade is the last one, though, of the 3. No,
it's 1939.
Oh, is it really?
Placed in 1939, yes.
I always forget that.
It's before Raiders.
So Raiders is the last one.
Crystal Skull.
Crystal
Skull. When we haven't watched it, I told him, I said to him last week, we were watching it, and he's like, oh, there's another one. I was like, there is.
Yeah.
I was like,
we use that term loosely, that there's another one.
It's not so good. He's like, well, why not? I was like, well, it's just kind of stupid. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, what do you mean? I was like, he survives a nuclear bomb by getting in a refrigerator. And he's like, Okay. Sorry. He was just like, I'm sorry I asked her.
It's funny because I've been on a very, lately I've been on a, God, George Lucas was a goddamn genius lately, and then we mentioned Indiana Jones, and a lot of that goes out the window very quickly.
Watching all three of them again.
Yeah.
And soon to be 4.
Mm-hmm.
He is. It's great stories.
He is.
Even
the, I'm sure if I watched Crystal Skull a second time, yeah, I know it's dumb.
If you get a bomb out of 4 movies, not bad, man.
That's
not bad.
Absolutely.
Not bad.
There was still
Coppola couldn't do that with Godfather.
No, he could not. He barely got past that too.
He got 2, and then 3, big old fumble.
Yep.
Big old fumble. So Lucas has him beat.
Yeah. For all of Coppola shit talking Lucas over the years too.
Yeah. Dude, I saw Godfather 3.
And I 1 and 2 are amazing films.
Are some of the best movies ever made.
Which I actually like 1 more.
I do too. It's a very unpopular opinion.
I know, yeah.
Everybody loves 2, and everybody says 2 is the better movie. I find 1 way more compelling.
I think so too. I think only because of the character journey for Corleone.
Michael.
Yeah. I like the tension of him, the tragedy of him giving in to a path he doesn't want. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is such a fascinating turn.
Yeah.
But 2 obviously is amazing. Structurally is really cool and everything.
Yeah. Great stories.
Yeah. But I also feel that same way with Batman Begins versus The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
I like Begins.
I like Begins better than The Dark Knight too.
Yeah.
I think it's a better movie.
I think so too. It's also one that has a little bit more fun in it too. You know?
And I like that they were still pretending it was Gotham.
Right.
And not Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Because they were doing the whole monorail thing around the town and stuff like that, and then after that they were just fuck it, it's just Chicago.
Yeah,
we're done. We tried.
Yeah,
it's too much work.
But coming back around to
what I am excited about. Speaking of mob movies, is the new Penguin series.
Yeah,
have you seen the trailer for that?
No, I did not watch the trailer for it. I just I
think you're gonna like it, Addy.
Yeah, and I liked the movie.
Yeah. They tried. It was a nice
I got
departure.
feelings about it.
Yeah. It didn't hit me.
It still doesn't hit the
right spot.
Yeah, and because he's kind of still pretty a shitty detective in that.
Yeah, he doesn't seem that smart.
Yeah.
Just doesn't. And I like Robert Pattinson. He's a fine actor.
I mean,
the look was cool.
Yeah.
He just did some dumb things, but the Penguin show looks like it's all mob stuff, but not like the corny Gotham mob.
Yeah, because that show was real bad.
This looks good.
Okay,
this looks like it's not. It doesn't look as bleak as Joker, but but still there's a lot of rain and a lot of dark.
Yeah,
and a lot of shadows.
But as should be expected for a mob show. So
yeah.
And that's
it's
fine.
on HBO Max, so it'll be good.
Yeah, I still want fun Batman at some point, but I would like fun detective Batman. Honestly, I've said it several times before, but if you kind of go with those Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock movies, that style of it, that's the vibe.
The tone you want.
Yeah, or even the Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock stuff.
Mm-hmm.
that's a little bit darker. yeah, you could
make Bruce autistic.
But that's the right vibe for Batman.
He should. That's how they should. They should write him as autistic.
Yeah, you could. You really could. It would be
that would be a really cool thing.
Yeah, especially and even if you eventually make that Batman run with the Justice League too, the sort of the interpersonal stuff would be really interesting.
Yeah. That's kind of that's how they always kind of play him anyway, right? Where he's
he's the most dysfunctional.
He rubs people the wrong way and just doesn't give a shit about people's feelings.
Yeah.
It's all about the mission. That's a total autism traits. They should run with that.
Yeah, it'd be fun. It would be really fun.
I'd read that. I'd read that. That's one where I wouldn't feel like they were appropriating.
Yeah.
Where it's already kind of melted into his character. He finally just gets a doctor to be like, hey, dude, you know what?
Yeah.
You're probably autistic.
Yeah.
What? I would feel okay with that.
Yeah.
Versus some of the other times where they're and we're going to just
check a diversity box.
Check a diversity box for this character now because that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that would actually be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. So,
people would be upset, I bet.
There will be people who are upset and there will be people who are happy. You can never keep them happy.
Yeah, but you, as Bud Light is teaching us, you don't always have to piss them off either.
So what's been going on with Bud Light? I have not paid attention to any.
Do you know who Dylan Mulvaney is?
No, I don't.
Okay, Dylan Mulvaney is a TikTok star.
Okay.
He decided to transition to identifying as a girl.
Okay.
Or a woman. And he did this whole like TikTok series of my first year as a woman.
Sure.
And so like day one, he's like, "Hey guys, it's me. I'm Dylan, and I'm, this is my first day."
Yeah.
And he's super effeminate.
Yeah.
Super silly. Like every bad stereotype of a 50s housewife kind of vibe is his identity.
Okay.
So it's not even like the fact that he's a trans woman on this Bud can.
Yeah.
It's that like he's insulting to a lot of women. A lot of women find her assaulting.
Okay.
Insulting.
Right.
Because it's very stereotypical. It's almost like blackface.
Yeah.
And for a lot of women.
Oh, okay. That's
like it's very insulting.
Yeah.
Like I showed one of the videos.
Does he have like "Live, Laugh, Love" posters behind him?
Dumber than that.
Yeah.
Like more insulting than that.
Yeah.
Like he's like he'll go and like, "Today is my special girl day," and he's like prancing around like this and flopping on beds and kicking his heels up and like, "Oh, girls, it's just so fun."
Right.
So,
like it sounds like someone just read Betty and Veronica. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's not a good look. Like he's clearly an attention whore.
Yeah.
Like something's wrong.
Yeah.
So so Bud Light has this new vice president of marketing who decides, I got a great idea. We'll put her face on a Bud Light can because we need to expand our market. So they do. Dylan puts out this video, and it's one I got to hang on. Let me see if I can find it because it is. You got to see this. Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light announcement. See if I can find it.
Sounds like looks like the internet's been scrubbed a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, they are not.
I created Conservative Dads, Ultra Right.
Shut up. Goofballs. Woke free beer, blah, 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 blah. Hang on, let me, all right. Just waiting for this ad to end. Oh, here it is.
No, that's okay.
Let me back it up. Hold on. So that's her. Hold on. I want to get this on screen because I don't have it switched on the thing yet. So I got to transition. Boom. All right, here we go. Ready?
All right.
That's trans TikToker Dylan Mulvaney.
Oh, this isn't it. They're talking over it. Doggone it. So anyway, so she comes on there, and she says, like, "Hey guys, so I just heard about this thing called March Madness.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it is. I don't understand any of your sports ball references at all. But Bud Light just put my face on a can in celebration of March Madness. And so whatever team you're cheering for, I love you and I hope your team wins. I don't know anything about it." And she pops it and she takes a swig and you can like see like the regret as soon as it touches her lips where she's like, "Oh, I don't like this," and puts it down.
Oh God.
Which is my favorite part of the video. I've watched that part like 15 times. I laugh every time she takes a swing. I'm like, "Oh, she hates it." I know that feeling because I have the same reaction. It's shit beer.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, and so
it looks like disgusted face. There's something there on the right.
Oh, this one?
Does that have it?
Hold on. We'll find out. Yeah, 2, 1. All right, let's see. Screen share, boom. Let's see what happens.
Stain for what is obviously
No, still not doing it. Still not doing it. Stupid people talk. They must have scrubbed that video off.
Yeah, they would have to. We'll have to find it somewhere.
It looks brilliant. It's so funny. I can't believe they've taken it all. I'm not surprised they've lost like $6 billion.
Sure.
So anyway, so there's a big right-wing back. Like Kid Rock Kid Rock's a huge Bud Light drinker.
Yeah.
So he put a TikTok video out of him in his backyard just machine gunning the shit out of all the, like, this huge pile of Bud Light he had in his house. And so all the right-wingers are all upset and in arms because this is a culture war issue.
Oh, God.
Which is stupid.
Yeah.
It's really dumb. Like, it's just beer. But I also...
But they kind of engaged in the culture war to begin with.
Yeah, they stepped in it on this one. Like, you got to know, like, this is who your base is.
Yeah.
And you pissed your base off by insulting them. And then the vice president of marketing who made this, like, does a podcast where she says basically, yeah, people who drink Bud are, like, that's, like, they're regressive and, frat boys. And, like, we need a better group of people buying our beer, which just makes the flames even higher. So
I mean, I get, like, if you want to make a value statement on, like sure, companies do that all the time, and it's kind of soulless and whatever, but it's weird, like, straight up insulting your base.
It was bad. It was like, why would you say that out loud on a recording with a camera? Like, that's crazy talk. And then the it's not the owner because it's owned by the Belgians now, but like some higher up, the president of Budweiser makes a mealy mouth statement this week after she puts her statement out of like, oh, we didn't know this was something that was done by one of the lower people. Us here, the higher ups, like, didn't know everything that was going on. Well, yeah, and then they put out like this, like, feel good, go America. Budweiser is an American drink with strong American values. Which
like Sam Elliott to voice it.
Which only pissed people off even more. They're like, you motherfuckers wouldn't even stand behind it, like, or apologize.
Right.
It's a shit show. It's a shit show, and everybody has an opinion about it, and there's no reason we shouldn't either.
Yeah.
And my opinion is it's dumb. Like, it's dumb on many levels.
Corporations having opinions. It's funny because it is something. Like from a marketing perspective, it legit does help people make decisions on what they buy. Sometimes, like, there are people who, like, take that into account. So, like, I can't fault companies for doing that.
Yeah, there are certain things that you can, like. Taxes.
Yeah.
There's a number where we can all kind of agree on eventually, right? Like, there's a way that we can come to the middle on that. And there's a way that we can come to the middle on a lot of issues.
Yeah.
And then there's some issues that are a little too hot to come to a medium ground on.
Yeah.
This is one of those issues at the moment in America where there's no middle ground. You are either team right or team left. Yeah. And there is no, like, hey, like, maybe there's some room for some discussion. There's no fucking
Apparently
discussion.
There's not any. Yeah.
There is not discussion had on this. And to not know that and put that out there when you should know who your base is.
Yeah.
Your base
I've run into that in a few times in recent weeks, too.
Where you're like,
people.
What do you?
Yeah.
I don't know that was a great choice.
Right.
Like, and then and I also, like, while I don't necessarily, I wouldn't stop if I was a Bud Light drinker. I don't know that I would stop drinking Bud Light just because they put a thing of Dylan Mulvaney on a can.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really care that much.
Right.
That's just me. But I can also see, like, where, like, people who do feel strongly about that issue, feel like it's like being pushed on them.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this is my beer. Like, I don't need a social statement.
Right.
Based, you preaching at me on my beer can. Like, that's not really what I'm here for. Like,
I barely enjoy Snapple trying to educate me.
Exactly. I don't drink Snapple because of that shit. All right? Like, I'm not drinking your shitty sugar water so that you can try and educate me on how to make us. You're making me fat. You're killing me. With your shitty brown sugar water, and you're trying to, like, we're helping you get smarter. Fuck you, Snapple. pieces of shit.
Clip it.
Clip it. That's the one right there. That's going to the clips. So that's what's been going on there. So they lost $6 billion in like a couple days of market cap. Like it's crazy.
Oh, I bet.
It's crazy. Yeah. So that's one thing. It's one thing I will say about conservatives.
Yeah.
Is when you do get them riled up, they organize and they go at it.
Oh, they do.
Like if they're like, hey, we're not buying Disney or we're canceling, we're not buying from this group or whatever, they get on it.
Yeah.
And companies suffer.
Yeah.
Big times. It's been weird to watch. It's been fun to watch everybody's opinion on it.
Yeah.
And who was on? I saw a clip of Norton, not Ed, Jim Norton.
Oh, yeah.
Jim Norton was on Gutfeld.
Yeah.
He was so funny. He was like, I don't care who's on my can. You could put Hitler on my can. I'd just brush the mustache hair off and drink it. I don't care. Fucking genius. And they're just like, oh. Everybody's like, oh, I don't know what to do with that.
Right?
When he shut that conversation down, it was hilarious.
Norton's fucking hilarious.
Oh, he's so good. He's so good. I will say Gutfeld was laughing pretty hard.
Yeah.
Everybody else was just like, oh, shit.
Right?
He's great. So that's what's been going on with Dylan Mulvaney.
Yeah.
Bud Light. Crazy.
Yeah.
Not who I would have chosen. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been totally cool. And I think they would have got a lot of support and a lot of positivity if they had just like rebranded one of their dead brands and brought it back.
Okay.
I'm sure they've got like some Bud beer that has like Pepsi. Like Pepsi has like 5 or 6 different types of Pepsis that aren't around anymore.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Bud Light has or
Bud
has,
Plus.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, Bud Plus would be perfect for a trans person. That would be perfect.
Yeah.
You don't need to do Bud Light.
Yeah, or
you've got it.
I would say whatever their sparkling, whatever flavored
bring
sparkling
back Zima
waters,
if they were the ones who made.
I'm sure they've. I think don't they have a sparkling water?
They've got to.
Yeah,
they've got to. They've got to have something that's not Bud Light.
Yeah,
that they needed to boost a brand. Okay, maybe Bud Light is like fading and you're worried that like it's not going to be your base and you want to expand on that.
Sure.
Well, then create some new products.
Yeah.
While you revitalize that brand, like expand in different directions. Don't try to co-op a brand that's always been
that's a pretty
totally
big and it's an odd choice to mess with just from a marketing perspective. Yeah,
it's like Ferrari making an electric engine. You're like,
what?
Yeah, you're like, I don't want an EV Ferrari.
Yeah, definitely not.
What the fuck are you talking about? No. I don't want that.
Yeah.
That thing better get like 6 miles to the gallon.
Right.
That's what I want out of my Ferrari.
Yeah.
It better be loud, it better be fast, and it better be cool looking, but it better not plug in. It's the same thing with my Bud Light.
Yeah.
And the people sponsoring my Bud Light. Like, I want horses.
Yeah.
I want America.
Yep.
I don't want social issues.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what I'm here for out of my Bud Light. That's it.
Yep.
That's my rant. Good talk.
Yeah, great talk.
So back to Star Wars.
Yeah, so we did get the announcement that we got some major movies coming out though, which I'm excited about the ideas that they're talking about for these movies, and so we've got three movies that are going to be spanning sort of the history of Star Wars. And the one I'm actually most excited about is the James Mangold movie. So James Mangold is directing the new Indiana Jones movie. James Mangold is the same guy who did Ford versus Ferrari. He's the same guy who did Walk the Line.
Did you watch Ford versus Ferrari?
Yes, and I liked it.
I liked it a lot.
It was very good.
Yeah.
It was a really good movie.
Yeah.
I went to see it because James Mangold directed it, because he also did the remake of 310 to Yuma, which was fantastic. He did Logan, also freaking amazing.
Probably my favorite comic book movie.
Yeah, it's definitely up there for me. And so like the Walk the Line was amazing. again, like the guy hasn't had a whole lot of movies that I haven't liked. So,
right.
So he's been quietly making those there. I know he's been he was for a long time ago. He was associated with possibly doing a Boba Fett film, back in the day. But that didn't.
That would be cool if it was a Western.
Right? Yeah, like he knows he knows the vibe for that. Yeah. But I really love the pitch that he's coming in with for this one, and it's supposed to be
Was
like.
he there?
Yes, because they were doing promo for the new new Indiana Jones movie.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So it's one of those that I'm sure their plans will change if Indy bombs. But but right now, he's the guy for this a new Dawn of the Jedi movie, which basically he describes as so it's supposed to be 25,000 years before the Skywalker saga. So it's even earlier than the Old Republic, and it's about the origin of the first Jedi. So, and he describes it as a biblical epic. So it sounds really interesting. I always kind of had idea, I always had the hope, if I ever got a chance to work on a Star Wars, that was kind of the idea I wanted to work on, and sort of, but instead of necessarily a singular Jedi, I always liked the idea of different people coming from different cultures with their different Force mythologies, and maybe each one had only a power or two, but they came together and created the Jedi Order out of using these different powers. But a very the vibe would be judges from the Bible, that very tribal. There's no real very decentralized. It's lawless, so it's very Old West as well, obviously, but it's just overwhelming
Bushido code.
Yeah, very feudal Japan as well. It definitely fits that. But there's no republic, there's no empire, there's
no Jedi, there's no Sith.
Right, exactly. There's
only Bendu.
but that kind of and I think we had a little bit of that vibe with some of the stuff from Visions. Mm-hmm. That very just frontier. I think that would be really cool to do, but that was always sort of my idea to do for something to do. But I'm really interested to see
his take on it.
Yeah, because I think that would be really cool. So that's his movie. Then the second movie, there's no release order for any of these. It's just kind of how we'll see how these develop.
Oh, okay.
There's no firm release dates on any of these.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Again, I like
Smart.
that. Yeah, I like that they're just saying, let's see how this goes. Let's see what obstacles they hit and what they need to adjust to, so that they're not forcing this shit out.
Well, it's smart because then what that does is it takes all the expectations out of the audience.
Yeah.
They're not well, we know we got a movie coming in 2 weeks, in 2 years,
Yeah.
So it just takes takes all the wind out of that.
Exactly.
Out of those sales of those losers putting all the stupid speculation videos up and stuff like that.
Well, they'll still do it. There's a whole.
Yeah, they will, but they won't have as much to go on. They don't have a date to follow up.
So they've never had much to go on. They've been saying Kathleen Kennedy's going to be fired every day.
Yeah, but
you know what I know what you mean. Yeah. Because they're still saying Kathleen Kennedy's going to get fired any day now. So one day she'll
they're
retire.
Gonna be right eventually. I mean,
right. And they'll be there to say we were right all along and celebrate.
Told you. Delete every.
They'll have the same mission accomplished banner that was behind Bush on the carrier.
Mission accomplished. Oh, I love that idea. Hilarious.
So the second movie is going to be directed by Dave Filoni. Okay. So which is also really cool. And it'll be sort of like an Infinity War type build-up for all this stuff that's been going on with the TV series, with Mando, Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew,
Bad Batch.
Well, Bad Batch not so much, but there might be connections.
I mean, with all that clone stuff.
There'll be some of that.
Into it.
There's a little bit, but more the post Return of the Jedi stuff.
Yeah,
because that's still in between.
So it's gonna be. Is it gonna be like a two-parter, or is it gonna be?
We'll see. Because it may be the culmination. I think they're expecting it to be the culmination of all of it. So I think Ahsoka will have some big moments. Skeleton Crew will have some interesting moments. We'll see how big that is. But
What's
Mando.
the Skeleton Crew about?
So Skeleton Crew, the what they've been talking about has been very like Stranger Things, like Goonies, like E.T. It's a bunch of kids in like a suburban. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of meh about that, but you know what? I did enjoy Stranger Things a bit too. So
I enjoyed the first season of Stranger Things.
Yeah, I enjoyed the most.
Liked the second season of, and then
I've enjoyed the first. I've really enjoyed the first season and the most recent season of Stranger Things.
No, I didn't even start it. I was so off put by the third season.
Oh, really?
I don't want to watch this anymore.
Yeah, it's definitely repetitive. But this most recent season, like the villain was a lot more interesting. It wasn't as amorphous. There was an actual
esoteric.
face. Yeah, there was actual motivation this time. So the deal with Skeleton Crew though is it's happening in sort of like it starts in a sort of a suburban area and somewhere in the Star Wars universe, which is like apparently like even the clips and everything was like people were like a little like shocked to see a suburban like neighborhood in Star Wars. But a bunch of kids end up getting like lost on an adventure, and it gets spirals into something much bigger than they expected. Jude Law's character is supposed to be a Jedi. My theory is somehow maybe he'll be what's his face?
I know who you're talking about. Yep. The one that we was referenced in
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I can't believe I
can't think of his name either.
Yeah,
because it's a K something.
Yeah, or V or something.
Voss.
Yeah, Quinlan Voss.
Quinlan Voss.
Quinlan Voss. Yeah. I have a feeling it could be him.
Makes sense.
But Vane, the pirate who bailed out in that recent episode of the Mando is in that series, so looks like he might be a little bit of a villain in that. But it's definitely post Return of the Jedi era. So so we'll see. Yeah, I know but here's the part where I have a little bit more faith in it. It's the showrunner is the guy who did the 3 Tom Holland Spider-Man movies.
Oh.
So like you got some good talent there. Yeah. You're not
really kind of depends on the story.
Yeah, exactly.
And who it's geared to. Like when you say kids in suburbia, there's a bunch of kids in suburbia.
It's really leaning into 80s nostalgia. And it feels like if you love E.T., if you love Goonies, this is your jam. And if you're not into those, then
I like those, but I don't know that I want that in Star Wars.
But you've never. I don't know if I'd say you love that. You're more of a 90s guy than an 80s guy.
Yeah, true.
So. I feel like I feel like that's not quite your vibe. Like it's not that you don't like any of the stuff from that era. It's
I like it.
Yeah,
it's just not my scene.
Yeah, there's some people who are like have hard-ons for the 80s.
Looking at you, Jason. Looking at you.
But like the people who like talk about it as like there was never a better era.
Looking at you, Jason.
In film and TV. So.
Looking at you, Jason. There's definitely better eras.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 80s weren't great.
Yeah. Again, you're a 90s guy, so.
It started getting better in the 90s.
Yeah.
Some questionable choices in the 2000s.
Right.
And here we are.
Yeah. So that movie is supposed to be the culmination of that. I imagine it'll be like Thrawn will be. I imagine Thrawn's going to be the big bad of that movie.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope that they hadn't done away with Thrawn.
I don't. Yeah.
That quickly.
I feel like it'd
be such a waste if they just blow him in Ahsoka.
Yeah. I think. Well, I mean.
Let me rephrase that. 'Cause I would watch that. Definitely watch that. I'd go to theaters to see.
Right. No, but I mean, if it does have I'm really getting Heir to the Empire vibes, real strong. So I've been kind of wanting to dig up the book a little bit and kind of like refresh myself.
I haven't read it since high school.
I know. I haven't read that since. I want to say I read that in maybe it would have been the early 2000s is when I read that.
Okay.
So
yeah.
But I remember just demolishing that.
I pounded that book.
Yeah. Those are so
English
much fun.
class. That's all I did was read that book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were so much fun. So I have like all these so many like clone Luke type theories that are not clone Luke. So like clone Ezra, clone Grogu.
Grogu.
Yeah. I mean, just from a merchandise perspective, that's the way to go. Because then you have all the evil Baby Yoda merch.
A little green monster with red eyes.
Right?
Oh,
imagine if you gave him like Darth Maul tattoos.
I dig it.
Right?
I dig it. He goes full Death Watch on us.
Right.
I mean, they're saying that this last episode is going to be quote-unquote heartbreaking.
Yeah, I know. I'm so worried.
I'm a little stressed.
Dude. Well, we shouldn't talk too much about Mando right now. We might need to save that for next week, even this past episode, just to let the spoilers.
Whatever.
Dude, yeah. I got worried when in some of that fight. I was a little concerned for our hero. Let's just put it that way. Even though I know like it's like they're not gonna kill him. He's the main character. Like
I don't
plot
think he
armor.
Is. I don't think he
not
is.
anymore.
I don't think he is. I think what's her name is
Bo-Katan.
Yeah, I think it's. I think the Mandalorian has been that title has been
passed on.
Yeah.
I was noticeably stressed in that
I would
fight.
not be surprised if because Pedro Pascal has never been keen on this role.
Those seem to be a lot of rumors that people have been like throwing out there. I feel like that's just.
Was he at Celebration?
They didn't have a lot of Mando representation there because they were filming. So.
They were still filming. What were they filming?
Filming for the next season.
Oh, next season.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, man. The guys. I don't know. I feel that's been a lot of clickbait. That's been a lot
the rumor is that he's not been thrilled with, and as an actor, I get why he would not be
because he's not seen. Yeah,
you don't see the guy. Like it could be anybody. He's just voice acting. He's not that he's just voice acting.
No, I know what you mean. What you mean.
He's not acting.
Yeah. I get it.
I think a lot of times they have a body double for him anyway.
Yeah, and he apparently fought to get them a higher credit. Get better credit.
That's great. They deserve it. That's fine because they're doing work he's not.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's getting paid a ton of money.
Right.
So I can see, like, if that's the case, if that rumor is true, them getting rid of Din.
Yeah. Oof. It's so heartbreaking.
They get rid of Din.
He's been a fun character.
It's going to be one of two things. They're going to get rid of Din or Grogu's going to get captured.
And we've already had a Grogu captured moment.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, did they go to the well twice?
Yeah. I mean, he's in a badass armor suit now.
It's so funny watching that, and when he was walking around and hitting the yes/no buttons.
Yeah, I know, like an annoying little kid, and I was loving it. But then the payoff for it was so good, and I was loving. Obviously, we're well into spoiler territory here, but post-apocalyptic pirate Mando survivors was awesome.
Hilarious. There's some major plot holes in that episode.
Of course, it's Star Wars.
Yeah,
let's not. Yeah,
there's some big plot holes in that episode where I'm like, you never noticed him building a base. Like, this is pretty complicated shit that they seem to have. They got TIE fighters in here.
Yeah.
It's like, there's a lot going on in here. You never noticed?
Right? Yeah, I know.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So, it is what it is. It'll be fun. I'm excited for this finale. I really am.
Well, we got that also, the Imperial Shadow Council at the beginning.
I loved that.
That was a fantastic scene.
I loved that. I thought that was really interesting. Like, that really breathed some much-needed color into the universe of, like we very rarely kind of get to see the machinations and the inner workings of this, like, the Empire.
Right.
You know, like that was what to me that was what was cool about Andor.
Yeah, exactly.
Seeing that side. The rest of it, I was like, I don't really like Andor. I don't really care what happens to him.
Yeah,
I did like the rest of it around him.
Yeah,
I'll be happy when they kill him off. That'll be fine with me.
I think we've already seen that.
That's right. Damn it! I'm not gonna kill him off in this series. Maybe he's a clone. That's gonna be the twist at the end.
Let's calm down.
They kill him twice. So yeah, I think that I don't know what I was saying.
Yeah, you like the machinations, the world building of the Empire.
Of the Empire.
I get it.
And seeing that in like the infighting and kind of all that stuff of like, oh, how do we build resources? And yet we need to remain in the shadows. You can't get too greedy about it. Yeah. Everybody's trying to line
Project
their pockets.
Necromancer.
Gee, I wonder what that could be.
Right.
I mean, per Star Wars, it's pretty on the nose.
Yeah.
Like, I like that they've continued that tradition.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
It's stupid, but I like
it. It works, you know.
It totally works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, Project, what is the Death Star project? Project Stardust? Or is that what it is?
Yeah.
Like, that one's a little too vague. You mean, like, once you find out, it's named after his daughter.
Right.
Okay. But, like, really for a Star Wars project name, it should have been, like, Project Moon Laser or something like that.
Right.
Really what it should have been called.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of dark because it's like turning it all to Stardust, and it's also my nickname for my daughter.
She ruins planets. Just like she ruined my life, I will destroy your planet. Kids will do that to you.
Yeah, I guess so. So that's the expectation. Like all of that will build up to a big movie directed by Filoni, and then the third movie is the one that Damon Lindelof was writing, and I can't remember the name of the her name, but she's been associated to it for a little bit. But this is going to be a follow-up to Rise of Skywalker, like 15 years afterwards. Rey is coming back as a master, and sort of the new Jedi Order.
Who
does
granted her the rank of master?
I mean, she's kind of the only one left, so she's...
See, that was Anakin's plan, and everybody got all upset.
Yeah, but he wasn't a Jedi anymore.
He could have called it the Jedi if he wanted to.
Well,
there's nobody there to tell him no.
No, but he was an apprentice. He decided to become an apprentice to some other dude. So he kind of screwed himself by making a job change rather than
He should have just hung it.
Yeah,
should have just hung it out.
Right.
Just killed everybody and just did his own thing.
Yeah, but no. So it'll be
I don't want to see that movie.
I'm super excited for that movie. Are you kidding?
No interest in that movie whatsoever.
And granted, like I mean, knowing that they are doing different things to try to flesh it out, the idea of a new Jedi Order is what I wanted in Rise of Skywalker. So this is what I wanted more than what we ended up getting. Like it is a new, like, there's progress of some sort. Like, who are the Jedi in this era? Like, should people trust the Jedi after all the shit that's happened in the universe? You know, is there a place for them in this universe, and what is it? So I don't know. I think it's interesting. I won't be surprised if we see that there's a new crew of friends other than just Rey and Finn and Poe, and I wouldn't be surprised if we have Grogu the Mandalorian as part of this new crew, possibly Omega, maybe Ezra and Sabine are around.
Maybe. I mean, you're wish listing names that chances are they're probably just going to go with a bunch of new characters.
Yeah, possibly.
Probably.
Grogu, I'm not sure. I could see Grogu being the new. He is such the face of Star Wars right now.
He's money. Yeah.
He is straight up the face of Star Wars right now. They played the Mandalorian theme at Celebration more than the Star Wars theme, the Force theme, or any other thing.
I believe it.
Yeah,
that theme is dope. That is a banger.
It is. I've loved it since day one, but I would not be
I could see Grogu.
Yeah, Grogu is the only one I really actually see realistically.
I could see Ezra.
Yeah,
I could see Ezra. I don't think you get Sabine. I don't think you get Ahsoka.
I think Ahsoka will be dead by that point.
I hope so.
Yeah. I think they'll. I think
I don't hope so. I really like her.
I know. What
I
you
would
mean.
rather
yeah.
Rey be dead than
well,
Ahsoka.
Well,
but
jeez.
I would. I don't like Rey. It's just not a good character.
I disagree, but I thought she was fascinating in the first 2 movies.
Yeah, it was a pretty good idea to have a kid in a desert suddenly discover they have magic powers and then like fly off planet and have adventures. Like it was a pretty original idea, especially since it was a woman. Like it was good.
All right, calm down. Jesus Christ.
Out of the mouth of Mark what's his name said that?
Ben Shapiro?
Luke.
Oh.
Mark Hamill said that.
Yeah, he's sarcastic about all that shit.
It was.
He's also sarcastic about him being whiny and an asshole.
He was whiny and an asshole. He's not being sarcastic. He's being honest.
Right?
But yeah, she's not a great character.
I don't know. I disagree. I think she's an interesting character still.
Why?
Because I think there's more to it than just like I think there is like the remnants of like her living in the legacy of what she heard about. And it's about, like, I think there are those aspects of the story that make her interesting, too. The Star Wars has been talked about being a generational story. So from that perspective, sure, history repeats itself in certain ways. Look, I'm going to be the first one to admit Force Awakens is super derivative. I will not pretend for a second that it is the most original story. But, like, that was...
To reset the story, it was fine.
Exactly. That was always the point of that movie. Yeah. But, like... I felt they were pushing her into new territory with Last Jedi, and like I thought she was going into interesting directions. I wasn't crazy about what they did with her in Rise of Skywalker, but it's also not the worst story either. It's not well executed because it's like it's not made like that movie's not really made in good faith. It's just kind of like done like it's a checklist. To say here's all the best of that movie is a best of like clip show from that you'd watch on a sitcom. It's like you remember all these other things that you loved in Star Wars. Here they are all over again.
Well, it worked for him in Force Awakens,
right? So they went to that well again. Yeah,
I mean they brought JJ back because that's what he does.
Right, exactly. He's great at making an homage to films.
And
he
that
loves.
doesn't and that. Yeah. That's okay for the start of a story, but you can't.
Not good for the end of the story. No, I agree. Trust me, I don't like Rise of Skywalker. I think it's the worst Star Wars movie. Period.
Agreed.
So
100% agree. And
but whatever
me, to me, the way I left that feeling and thinking about the characters and stuff like that, especially Rey in particular, is I don't care. Like they ruined that character.
I felt that way also after the prequels too. And Clone Wars,
I didn't feel that way after the prequels.
Really?
No.
Okay.
I hated those movies.
Oh my God, I hated so many.
I hated Jar Jar.
I thought Anakin was terrible.
I didn't want to. I thought little kid Anakin was terrible.
I didn't think Hayden Christensen was good either.
I didn't mind Hayden Christensen that much. I hated Jar Jar. And I didn't like the stories. Again, I didn't like the stories that they told.
Okay.
I thought Obi-Wan was great.
Obi-Wan was great, yeah, for sure.
I thought Dooku was great, but underused. I thought, there was, I liked
sure.
Looking
same with the sequels. Like, there's a lot of things to like.
There's a lot of things to like.
Absolutely.
That last movie was bad enough where I was like, I didn't really like that. I didn't like anything they did with anybody. In that movie. Where I could say, well, I liked that. I liked that. I thought it was cool when they, fake killed Chewie, or it was really cool to see.
No, dude, you're not gonna get. There's not gonna be a whole lot that I like from Rise of Skywalker. In general, I like the imagery of the last big lightsaber battle
pretty.
Because it was like sort of the idea of healing and the water and everything, and on the wreckage of the Death Star. Even though the wreckage of the Death Star really didn't make any damn sense. No. But, like, still the imagery of it was still kind of cool to, like, contrast with, like, Battle of the Heroes with Anakin versus Obi-Wan and Revenge of the Sith. Like, that was a cool, like, sort of, parallel.
Homage, yeah.
But it didn't have the character building for that payoff to be worthwhile. So, like, I'm not going to defend that movie a whole lot because, I think it's the worst of all of them. Like, I think up until Rise of Skywalker, Attack of the Clones, I felt was the worst. and then followed by Phantom Menace. So it's again like it's
So I think the only difference between you and I is that you still have hope for some of those characters, and I'm like I'm not interested in any of those characters. It's just not a movie. It's not a story. I am interested in what happens after those stories, but I'm just not interested in any of those characters doing it. Like,
okay.
I would be totally okay if they were just like, well, let's skip,
move on.
Let's skip a couple generations and move on.
Yeah,
I'd be fine with that. And it's not the actor's fault.
Right.
Like I'm not like, oh, these actors, or any.
Yeah.
That story just sucked, man. That story sucked, and I'm not mad at JJ about it. JJ does what JJ does. Like,
But again, like I feel Rise of Skywalker sucked. The other two I thought were still good. So like
I did too.
I think it still means that there's good bones for a story.
Yeah, but I feel like they ruined those bones. Like they put those bones in a trash compactor, crushed them, blew them into dust.
Yeah,
and it's time to move on. I'm just not interested.
I know. I guess I felt that way after the prequels as well, and then Clone Wars changed my mind drastically. So.
Well, then they would have to do something. They would have to do some kind of other media to make me care about Rey again. Yeah. I need to see Rey in a way.
That would be another movie.
No, I need to see it in another. I'm not going to pay $20 to go fucking see Rey be a Jedi. Like you're missing the point.
Okay.
Like you had Clone Wars. You had a 7. How many seasons was that show?
Yeah.
7 seasons.
It ended up being 7 seasons.
7 seasons to make Anakin redeemed and interesting again.
Sure.
In your mind, right? I need something. I maybe don't need 7 seasons. Yeah. But I need to see Rey, and that makes me care about her again. Because right now I don't care.
Right.
About her.
That's okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Or any. I don't care about Finn. I don't care about Poe.
Yeah.
I don't care about Rey.
Yeah.
Red Arm C-3PO. I'm kind of interested in. Kinda like I'm still curious about that Red Arm. A little bit. I know it's been told. I think that story's been told, but I am curious about it. I haven't read it.
Yeah.
R2. Chewie. Give me Chewie movies all day long. I'll watch a Chewie movie.
Okay.
But that's about it. That's as far as that list goes. Like, there's nobody left.
Yeah.
Maz Kanata. I'm into her.
Yeah.
Kanata, whatever. I'm into her.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. But Rey.
Yeah.
I need something more. You're gonna have to give me something more. Maybe they'll work that in with the Thrawn stuff.
How?
In the movie that Filoni's doing, like Ahsoka would have. What time is that in a totally different time period? Isn't
That's too early. Yeah.
So it wouldn't work. Yeah. Unless they do
unless you want Baby Rey, and I don't
unless they start doing the World Between Worlds stuff again.
Jump
forward.
I mean, I think there's going to be some World Between Worlds stuff, but I don't want them to overuse
not the direction
it.
They're going. Yeah. So I just don't. They would for me, and I think for a lot of fans, they would need to they're gonna want to do some kind of media with Rey. Yeah. To make us care and get past the fact that she's a Palpatine, but now she's a Skywalker and all that weirdness.
Yeah.
There's just so many missteps there.
Yeah. No, I agree that there are plenty of missteps, but I think people are more accepting than you think.
I don't think they are, man.
Yeah.
I don't think they're still mad about The Last Jedi, dude.
Yeah, but that's a pretty vocal group of assholes. Is it really the majority?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to
That's hard to tell.
That's hard to tell.
That's a real difficult one to tell because that one is I can't say it's a majority necessarily, but I won't say I don't think it's a minority.
Which one did a bigger
either.
box office?
Last Jedi did a bigger box office.
So it's enough people to affect the box office.
What do you mean?
Well, if The Last Jedi made more money, did a bigger box office than The Rise of Skywalker.
But there's always a natural progression for every movie trilogy like that usually. Cuz the original Star Wars did amazingly well, Empire does less and Return of the Jedi does even less.
Okay.
Too. So it's not like
all right.
I mean Empire is amazing. That doesn't mean it's
But there's what other there's so many other things that could go into that too.
Exactly. Same
what was being released around Jedi and what's going on financially in people's lives, and you can make the same arguments. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I think it's a lot more complicated than
it's hard to
just
tell.
saying.
But I think there is. Even as a vocal minority, it's large enough that we know about it.
Yeah,
it's not
that's
8
true.
people.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know, I would say it's thousands of people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So who knows? Who knows what
if I had to guess, I'd say it's 50-50, to be
of
perfectly
everything
honest.
they announced, it's the one where I'm just like, meh.
Yeah, I'll say it's the of the 3, it's the one I'm least interested in.
I'd rather see the Suburban Kids.
Jesus.
I'm not kidding. I'd rather see the Suburban Kids.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting to me. It sounds more interesting to me than Ray.
Okay, I swear just a second ago you were like,
I'm not excited about the Suburban Kids, but I'm negative about Ray.
Yeah.
I'm about Suburban Kids.
Yeah.
That's
how I
feel about it.
I don't know.
I can be wrong. I could be wrong.
Lindelof's a damn good writer, so.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. He also wrote Lost.
Yeah, but he also wrote Lost after they wanted more seasons than he wanted to give them.
Well, maybe they're
he also pulled off Watchmen, and Watchmen was pretty goddamn good.
The first one or the show?
The show.
Yeah, the show was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. It might be great. It may end up being my favorite Star Wars of all time. Yeah. That would be a lovely surprise. But going into it, I'm not.
Right, you're not in it. Yeah, I get it. That's fine. Yeah.
Anything I'm particularly excited about.
Yeah.
I'll go see it. I was gonna say I'll probably wait for it on video. I won't.
You're gonna go see it in theaters. Yeah, just stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not that crazy.
Yeah.
Say that.
Like, just like the people who do legitimately hate Ray, they're all gonna go see it in theaters.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's how they make their money.
Yeah.
Like, especially the people that we're talking about, like the people, like the YouTubers.
Oh, the clickbaiters, but yeah, no, even the people who are complaining who aren't that, like, they're gonna go see that shit.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay. All right. Star Wars.
Well, the good news is, like, what will help that tremendously is if we have a bunch of wins between now and then.
Yeah, but the other thing that also is going to help it is eventizing it again, which is a big thing they were focused on with the way they talked about making Star Wars movies an event again.
How do you
rather
do that
than
today,
rather than making it an every year thing, because that's one of the things they said is, like, we shouldn't try to, like, we're not trying to force out a movie every year. That's not a thing we're going to be doing. So I think.
But how do you make it an event in today's thing?
If it's not every year, it becomes an event.
It doesn't, because you buy your tickets ahead of time. You don't have to stand in line.
Well, I think you're overthinking the. Okay, yes, eventizing in that sense, yes, absolutely, sure, that era is gone, but Top Gun was still an event for movie for people. Avatar 2. Both of these movies I'm not interested in any way, but those were event movies, and they came out to the theater.
What is your definition of event movie? A movie people go see?
I think it's more of, like, it needs to be a theater experience for them. It needs to be more than just like, this is something that, like, I'm okay with watching at home. Like, this has got to be, like, the matchup that I want. This has got to be the.
I don't like that at all, and I'll tell you why. Here's why. Is because what that says,
small stories are gone from the theater.
Small, interesting stories are gone, and it's big explosions and CGI.
Yeah, no, I agree.
How big of a budget does this thing have?
So here's my thought, because I agree with you to a point. I think, though, we're getting small stories on the small screen. Mm-hmm. We're getting plenty of these Disney Plus series. We're getting those smaller stories that way. So I'm not as sure it would be cool to, like, continue to have small stories on the big screen, but I think we're past that now. Like, we were just talking about it with, like, talking about the way people go see movies in the theater, because here's the thing, like, we both have been talking about these Marvel movies, and we're like, I don't know if I'm going to see them all in the theater anymore. Like,
but I would think that those would be event movies. Wouldn't you call a Marvel movie an event by that definition? Like, it is a CGI spectacle that you really should be seeing in the theater
right, but
to
I
get
think
the full effect of it.
Yeah, but I think because there's so many of them, it's watered it down for us that even we are not as excited about them as we used to be. So if it becomes a little bit more rare and seldom, and they still tell smaller scale stories on Disney Plus, then like we'll be a little bit more likely to be like, you know what, like well, let's go see the new Marvel movie in the theater. You know, I think eventizing in that sense.
I think that's a gamble. We'll see if it pays off.
It is, yeah, absolutely.
See if it pays off.
Yeah, I
think I suspect the right move for Hollywood is to go against that grain. Whichever studio production company or whatever decides, like, hey, you know what? We're going to start putting out stories with, good character development and
like A24 does
action, but not like over the top ridiculous CGI.
Well, no,
action.
Yeah,
but like giving stories like a Godfather,
Well, I think that's
like
what
that.
A24 is out there and still going to continue to do, like with movies like Everything Everywhere All at Once and like Green Knight and all that kind of stuff. I think those smaller studios will continue to be the.
But if I was a big studio.
Yeah, but do you think big studios are not going to be willing to take that risk?
It's a small budget risk.
Yeah.
It's a smaller budget. You're taking less of a
That's
risk.
true, yeah.
You're taking less of a risk by cutting some of those big tentpole movies out.
Yeah.
And putting good quality content that people that's
trust me, you're preaching to the choir on this one because
the thing is, like, you have because it's all the same. Like that's the problem with the Marvel, like the Marvel stuff is like we're talking about. Like it's like I go to a Marvel movie and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've seen this.
Yeah.
Like, yes, the CGI is different.
Dude, you're preaching to the choir on this one because my favorite Marvel movies have been the ones that are more funny or smaller stories. Like Ant-Man and the Wasp, I adore, and it's it's not that it doesn't have action, but it's a small movie. Like that's
a low risk movie.
Yeah, So yeah, no, I'm with you. I'd love for that to continue to be the case. I don't want everything to be world ending by any means, but I do think that maybe there should be fewer, just fewer of these movies for a little bit. Like scale back a little bit. Not every one of these movies necessarily needs to be a movie. Some of these could be TV series,
But that's my question. That's what I wonder. Also, is like we're getting like a ton of TV series. Like we're getting a lot of content, which is great. Are we still going to be just as burnt out just because it's in a movie? Like, oh, it's in a movie.
That's a good point.
I'm getting a ton of Star Wars
they're scaling
content.
back some of the TV series as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I think that's smart. I think that's smart. I think Marvel's kind of doing the same thing.
I think they need to. Yeah, I think they're scaling back overall because it's one of those things where the only source of income is subscriptions. There's no advertising.
Right. So it's hard to make those things make a profit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad I don't have to make those choices.
Right.
And think about that stuff seriously, and we can just sit here and bullshit about it and pretend we know what we're talking about.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the best part. So I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know. And maybe they're onto something and they're just printing money over there at those studios. But I suspect
to a point. I think at a certain point, I think they're reaching that sort of peak capacity.
Yeah.
For how much they can force out.
Yeah.
So,
I just think there's room for Miramax in the 90s.
Look, dude, I want it's funny. They've talked a lot about how there are no plans for a season 2 for Obi-Wan. Naturally. And there's really shouldn't be a season 2, but Ewan McGregor is really wants to do more stuff. Here's the thing: I would if I did I have my idea for a season 2 for Obi-Wan is for it to not be
him and Vader.
Well, not to be the story that we got. Is sort of an anthology series where do you remember the structure of the episode, the flashback episode where they showed where they had they were trying to escape from that they were trying to load all the refugees on the ship, and then they were flashing back with Anakin and Obi-Wan when it was young Padawan Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that episode using sort of that lesson from before and like interweaving it with like how they were kind of working against each other and everything, and just the lesson of like
it was like a kung fu episode,
right? But I would love the idea of like taking like the the like what was it, the different stages of grief, and making each one kind of an episode for Obi-Wan as he's in the desert, but like using flashbacks of like back to when he was a Padawan with Qui-Gon, or moments in the Clone Wars. So you can have everyone from Ahsoka showing up, you can have Liam Neeson showing up, you can you can also have him like interacting with young Luke, but like have him like trying to actually work through these like his demons. Like you could have Maul show up, in these moments, but like you have all these like a really cool like just like Obi-Wan processing and trying to figure out who he is kind of after the end of the Jedi Order. Like I think that would be a really cool thing to do. But it would not be like a sequential story. Like it could reach like it could be not just like fresh Obi-Wan right post Order 66, but like go up to like the Alec Guinness old man, Obi-Wan, as he's like getting to that point. So to hand off, I think there would be something kind of cool if you were to build like each episode around that, like the stages of grief. I think that would be a really interesting story to tell.
Yeah, I agree. You should write it.
Right? Get it sponsored by BetterHelp. Obi-Wan's on like a holocron with BetterHelp.com.
Code word
Obi. Hello there.
Hello there for 10% off. Oh, that's it for this week, baby. That is too good. I love it. All right, man. That's it for us this week. Hope you all have a great week.
I'm Addy Thomas.
I'm Ben Milton.
We are Batty.
We are one.